intro to the sacral chakra before we get started with our class tonight. So, remember we have the 7 chakras of the body. They go all the way from the root to the crown of the head. So those are the 7 main chakras that go up and down the center of the body, right? The root chakra, or Muladhara, is located right at the base of the spine. And it is the chakra that connects us to the earth. It is the chakra that we associate with having safety, with having security, with believing that our needs are met. So this is a really important chakra that if this chakra is not in balance, then the chakras that come above it will not be in balance. And so we are doing this series. We're going to be focusing tonight on poses that help to ground and help to balance the root chakra. So let me read to you a little bit about the root chakra. The root chakra, or the base chakra, is your body's primordial energy center. Its focus is on the comfort and care of your physical embodiment. Your root chakra taps into your intentionality, your awareness of your physical being. Understanding who you are and how to operate your body allows you to be here in physical mastery. The ability to be safely who you are meant to be is the miracle of life on earth. When your root chakra is open, you'll feel secure, safe, stable, fearless, trusting, and connected to the earth, as well as to friends, family, partners, and coworkers. We call those secure connections. You can say the following mantras at the start of each practice to help you to open this chakra or to meditate. And it's also a good idea to use these kinds of affirmations throughout the day. So those mantras are: I trust, I am supported, I am safe to be myself, I ground down to rise up. Notice that oftentimes I will talk to you about establishing your roots in the earth. That's all about establishing your root chakra. And the element, of course, is earth, because we are grounding into the earth. We can go over the Sanskrit chants, but I'm not going to. And then the mudra for it is the Gaya mudra. So I don't know how well you can see that, but when you take your forefinger and your thumb together, and you take your other 3 fingers and you make them straighten out to the side, that is the Gaya mudra. And that is the mudra associated with the root. And you can practice that anytime you want. So that is our reading on the root chakra. So with that being the case now, we're going to start off first in Sukhasana like we do in most of our practices. So what I want you to do initially is just find your seated position that's comfortable for you. Inhale your shoulders up, and then exhale, pull them back down and onto your spine. Pulling your elbows close to your rib cage as you pull your belly button also back towards your spine, moving your body into the back plane so that your shoulders are well stacked over your hips. All of your side muscle and abdominal muscles are engaged, keeping you strong in this position. And then you can take the Gaya mudra and place your palms open on top of your thighs. Inhale through your nose. Exhaling out of your nose. Inhaling. And then exhaling. As you inhale, grow your breath from the root of your spine all the way to the crown of your head. And then exhale that breath all the way down. Inhaling as you expand your belly, your ribs, and your chest. And then exhale all the way down. One more inhale. And then exhale. Inhale, bring your hands overhead. Exhale your hands down. Inhale your hands up. Exhale them down. Inhale them up again. And then exhale, bring them to prayer pose. Go ahead and remove, if you're sitting on a bolster or on a block, go ahead and move that to the side. And we're going to go ahead and inhale our hands up. And then exhale, hands forward as we fold over our legs, hands reaching for the floor. When your hands have reached the floor, inhale your crown of your head forward. And then exhale, go ahead and lower your chest center down, your heart center, keeping your shoulder blades on your back. And then you can reach out in front. Inhale, drawing the crown of your head forward. And then exhaling, allowing your heart center to move towards the floor. Inhale the crown of your head forward. And then exhale, reach forward, drawing your heart center towards the floor. One more inhale. And then exhale, if you have it in you to walk your hands a little further, go on ahead and do that. And allow your heart center to draw towards the floor as you pull your shoulder blades onto your spine. Inhale, rise up and walk your hands back. Take your right foot, if it's in front, and place it behind your left foot. Go ahead and adjust your position. Inhale your hands up. Exhale your hands down. Inhale your hands up. Exhale them down. And inhale your hands up. Exhale, fold forward. When your hands reach the floor, inhale the crown of your head forward. And then exhale, pulling your shoulder blades onto your back, go ahead and descend down. Inhale. And then on the exhale, start to walk your hands forward as you draw your heart center towards the floor. Inhale. Exhale, drawing your hands further forward as you allow your heart center to fall towards the floor. One more inhale. On the exhale, walking your hands a little further forward, pulling your shoulder blades down your spine as you pull your heart center forward. Inhale, rise up. Go ahead and inhale our hands up into the sky. And then exhale our hands down. We'll go ahead and move into Muladhara, which is a grounding pose. And go ahead and just push your elbows to the inside of your knees, drawing the crown of your head up to the ceiling. And just concentrate for the moment of allowing your tailbone to descend down to the floor while you're drawing the crown of your head up to the sky. If you want to, you can place a blanket underneath your heels to raise your heels, or you can even sit on a block to make it easier for you. If you look at my pose from the side, looks like. And you can even place your hands on top of your knees to further create extension in your spine. Now let's go ahead and place our left hand on the floor and rise our right hand up to the ceiling, creating a twist. And while you're doing that, concentrating on pulling both knees outward towards the hips. Just breathe with ease. Focus on your connection to the earth. One more inhale. And then exhale. Bring your hands together. Do an inhale as a cleansing breath. Fully exhale. And then place your right hand on the floor on the inside of your right leg. And draw your left arm up to the ceiling, twisting the body, pulling both knees outward towards the toes as we do this. Opening up the entire front of the body as it moves to the left. One more inhale. And then exhale. Go ahead and draw our hands together at heart center. Sit as tall as you can. And then what we're going to do, let me adjust my body so that I'm facing the camera again. Now we're going to place both of our hands on the floor and lift up our hips into the air and go into a wide-legged forward fold. So in your wide-legged forward fold, you're drawing your heart center towards the floor, allowing your crown to drop once you have drawn your body into your legs. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale, place your hands down, and then drop back down into Muladhara again. Inhale. And on the exhale, place your hands back down on the floor. Rise your hips up in the air. Folding forward, drawing your heart center towards the floor as you allow the crown of your head, to gravitate towards the floor. Inhale into a flat spine. And then exhale, fully fold forward again. Inhale into a flat spine. And then exhale, drop back down into Muladhara again. We're really kind of opening up those hips and reminding ourselves about how we are grounded into the earth. One more inhale. Exhale, place your hands on the floor. We're going to do that one more time. Inhale, rise your hips high to the ceiling, drawing your hip bones up to the ceiling as you pull your heart center down towards the floor, allowing the crown of your head to drop. Inhale into a flat spine, and then exhale back down. Drawing our feet together. Let's go ahead and reverse swan dive all the way up. And then exhale into prayer pose. Take a moment to think about your connection to the earth. And while you're thinking about that, I'm going to turn on this other light so we have a little bit more light tonight. It just is nice to have that. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale your hands down, then inhale your hands up. Exhale, swan dive forward over your legs, drawing your heart center down, and then when your heart center's down, then drop your hands, drop your crown. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale down. Reverse swan dive all the way up on the inhale. And then exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Inhale. Exhale, hands down, then inhale your hands up. And then exhale, swan dive forward, drawing the chest to the legs, to the floor, and then finally dropping the crown. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale your hands down to the floor, and let's move back into our first plank of the day. And just go ahead and hang out here in plank for 5 breaths. And while you're doing that, draw your heels back as you bring your heart center forward, pulling your belly button up against the spine. If you need to drop your knees, you can do that, but continue to engage those core muscles the way that I just described. Inhale 1. Exhale. Inhale 2. Exhale. Inhale 3. Exhale. Inhale 4. Exhale. Inhale 5. Exhale, bring your elbows into your ribs as you drop all the way down to the floor. And let's place our elbows underneath our armpits and clip them back as we move into Sphinx pose. Concentrate on pulling your shoulders away from your ears, on engaging all of those muscles in the center of your spine. Pulling your heart center forward and rising your chest at the same time. Inhale. And then exhale, drop down. Place your hands underneath your shoulders and then move back into child's pose. Child's pose is incredibly grounding. Think of all the parts of your body that are in contact with the floor. Child's pose reminds us that we are safe. Child's pose might be the place to where we retreat when we're feeling overwhelmed, when we're feeling like our heart rate is too high, that we have lost our connection to the breath, that we need to bring the heart rate down. And so you are invited anytime in any yoga class to drop back into child's pose when you need a break. I've been in a lot of classes where it starts off with child's pose, almost as a reminder from the very beginning that this is yoga, the self-care aspect of it, the recognizing our limitations. We've talked about that in other classes. And in honoring that it is always the breath that guides us. First we breathe, and then we move. Inhale. And then exhale, move forward, inchworming. So pull your knees together, pull your elbows into your chest, drop your chest to the floor, bring it through. And then on the inhale, pull your shoulders back and down into baby cobra. And then exhale down. Inhale your shoulders up to your ears and down your back as you rise your chest up. And then exhale back down. Inhale, rise up your chest. And then exhale back down. One more inhale, bring the ears up to the shoulders and down your back as you rise up your chest. And then exhale, let's move back into puppy dog. Knees or hips high up in the air as you draw your hands forward and down. So your hands are forward, your wrists are almost parallel with the mat as you're allowing your chest, your heart center to draw down to the floor. Getting a very nice stretch all along the front of the body. Breathe deeply, expanding the belly. Very nice. Go ahead and tuck your toes. Let's move back into our first downward facing dog of the day. So your first downward facing dog, you can have your legs bent deeply, pushing your hips back in space and high up in the air. Then start to walk out your dog. Dropping one heel, lifting the other. All the while pulling your ears, your shoulders away from your ears, pulling your shoulder blades together on your back as if you're trying to pinch a pencil back there between your shoulder blades. And then go ahead and find stillness. Inhale. Exhale, pushing our hips up and back. Inhale. Exhale. On your inhale, bend your legs, and then walk your feet forward up to your hands. When you arrive at the top, lift your hands. Inhale into a flat spine, and then exhale down. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up. And then exhale into prayer pose. Very nice. Now we're going to go into a chair series. Inhale. And then exhale, drop your hands down to the floor. And as you're doing so, bend your knees and pull your hips back in space. So right now, my torso is parallel to the floor, laying across my legs. Keeping that deep bend, or if you need to, you can reduce it by lifting out of it just a little bit. Go ahead and rise your hands up. So if you need to lift up a little bit to make this easier, that's totally okay. You are still getting a wonderful strengthening pose, but while you're up there, concentrating on pulling your belly button up against the spine, slightly tipping your tailbone down as you rise up your hands. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, swan dive forward into a forward fold. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale, drop your hands as we move back into plank pose again. Inhale. Exhale, draw your elbows in as you do Chaturanga Dandasana, and then inhale into upward facing dog. Let me move this pillow out of the way, it was in my face. Inhale. And then exhale into downward facing dog. Moving your dog back as far as feels good to you. Inhale your right foot to hip height, toes facing the floor, your hips are squared off. Exhale, pull your knee to nose as you pull your hand all the way through in between your hands. Did I say your hand? Your foot. I do that all the time. While you're here, concentrate on squaring off your hips by drawing your right hip back in space as you pull your left hip forward. And just focus on creating that firm foundation. Focus on drawing your sits bones together. We've talked about that. Engaging your Muladhara, and then inhale, rise up. So right now, we are in Anjaneyasana, or what they call a runner's lunge. Make your left leg behind you good and straight. If you have to reduce how much you bend your right leg, that's okay. But make the one behind you very, very, very strong. Inhale, raise your hands further into the air, and then exhale, drop your hands down. Move back into plank pose, inhale, and then exhale, drop. Chaturanga Dandasana, inhale into upward facing dog, exhale into downward facing dog. Inhale your left foot to hip height. Exhale, bring that foot knee to nose first, and then that foot between your hands. Focus on creating a stable base. Pulling your left hip back in space as you pull your right hip forward. Engaging your ab muscles at the same time. When you feel your base is nice and solid, go ahead and rise up. Like I said, keeping your leg behind you, the right leg straight and strong. Your heel is up into the air. If you need to reduce the bend in your left knee in front, that's okay. I'll keep mine good and deep. I'll show you here how deep mine is. But you can have yours as deep as you need it. Inhale your hands up into space, and then exhale, drop them down. Move your left foot to join your right. Inhale. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale into upward facing dog. Exhale, rolling over the toes into downward facing dog. Very nice. Pushing back into space. Inhale. Exhale, pushing back. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, bend your knees. Walk up to your hands. Stop. Keep your knees bent. And then rise up. Another chair pose, keeping us nice and grounded. Imagine that your tailbone is connected to the roots that go down into the earth. So imagine drawing your tailbone down as you pull your belly button in against your spine. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands down and into heart center. Take a moment to catch your breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, bend deeply at the knees as you pull your hips back, hands to the floor. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, swan dive forward, straightening out the legs. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale, place your hands on the floor. Take your right foot, bring it back, and drop your knee. So let's go ahead and focus on opening those hips as we just allow our left knee to bend deeply and pull our hips forward, rising our chest up into the sky as we do that. If you need to use blocks on either side of your foot to help you with this, you certainly may. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And then on the exhale, move back, moving your hips back in space, peeling your left heel off the floor into half Hanumanasana, Ardha Hanumanasana, half monkey pose, or we also call this a runner's stretch. So you're drawing your chest towards your legs. This is my flexible time of the day, so I'm really able to get a nice deep stretch. The other morning when I introduced this, yesterday morning, it looked nothing like this. Inhale. Exhale down. Inhale, move that foot forward. Place your hand on either side of that foot. Tuck your right toe. Moving back into downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, bring your left foot forward. Drop your knee again. Rise your hands up. Exhale, drop your hands down. Tuck your right toes and bring them back to join your left foot. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale down. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Hands out to the side and up. And then exhale, hands to prayer pose. Inhale. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, swan dive forward as we fold over our legs. Heart center drawing towards the floor, drop the crown. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale, hands down to the floor. Take our left leg and place it back behind us and drop our knee. Moving our hips forward, pulling our shoulders back, increasing that stretch all along the front of our left hip. Just keep on moving our hips equally forward. So not intentionally opening up the left hip, it'll open up as we move our hips equally forward. Inhale. And then exhale, move your hips back in space, peeling your right toes off the floor, straightening out your right leg into Ardha Hanumanasana, half monkey pose, or runner stretch. Bring your hands back, give you support. If If you want to, you can use blocks, of course. Inhale. And now on the exhale, you go ahead and allow your chest to descend. You don't need to move your hips at all. Just keep moving your chest towards your leg. Inhale. Exhale, allowing your torso to descend over that leg, but at the same time, drawing the crown of your head towards your right foot. Inhale. And then exhale, allowing your torso drop. Inhale, returning back to that lunge. Place our hands on either side of our right foot. Tuck our left foot. And then pull our right foot back. For downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Savasana. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, bring your right foot forward in between your hands. Drop your left knee. Rise your hands up. Exhale your hands down. Tuck your left foot. Bring it to join your right foot. Inhale into a half. Flat back. Exhale down. And then inhale. Reverse swan dive. All the way up to the top. And then exhale, hands to prayer pose. Oh, doesn't that feel good? Inhale. Exhale our hands down. Inhale our hands up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Move back into a plank pose again. Inhale. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale into upward facing dog. Urdhva Savasana. And then exhale into downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Savasana. Go ahead and push back and enjoy your downward dog. Inhale your right foot as high as you feel like going with it. And then exhale, bringing knee to nose. Pull that right foot in between your hands and open up into Warrior Two. Pulling your belly button up against the spine as we tip our tailbone down, pulling our shoulder blades together. As we look out over our right hand. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Tilt back into Peaceful Warrior, keeping our hips in the same exact location as we rise our right hand up to the ceiling and rest our left arm on our left leg. Breathing. If you want to, you can take that mudra that I showed you earlier. So finger, forefinger to thumb, the remaining 3 fingers straight out, up above. The Gaya mudra, that's what that's called. Inhale. And then exhale, take your right forearm, rest it on your right knee. Drawing your arm up to space, your left arm. If you want, you can draw it overhead. Focus on deepening your hip extension by dropping your hips as you bend your right knee more deeply. Very nicely. Inhale. Exhale. Opening up the chest. Inhale, reaching the left hand alongside the left ear, inhaling. And then exhaling, drawing the chest open. So holding that Gaya mudra with the right hand. Inhale. And then exhale, draw a circle with your left hand forward and down as you rise up again into Warrior Two. Inhale. Exhale, straighten out your right leg. Inhale. And then exhale, tilt forward into triangle pose. Make this triangle pose as deep as it feels good to you. If you need to place your hands on your shin, that's totally acceptable. I'm going to take my hand all the way to the floor because I have a lot of extension in me tonight. If it's available to you, look up at your left hand. Concentrate on drawing your tailbone, that cord again. Drawing it down to the floor. I lost my earpiece. Hold on. And pulling your belly button into the spine, using the inner spiral so that your right kneecap is facing the ceiling, so spiraling up with that thigh. Inhale. Exhale. One more inhale. And then exhale, setting up for Parsvattanasana. Draw your left foot in slightly as you bring your left toes to face forward. So you've got just a little bit of a change of distance between your right foot and your left foot. And right now your body is parallel to the floor perhaps, or even slightly up as we set up for pyramid pose, Parsvattanasana. Inhale, draw the crown of your head forward. And then exhale, allow yourself to fold over your right thigh. Inhale. Exhale, drawing your tailbone down, pulling your shoulder blades onto the spine as you fold forward. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Place your left hand beside the inside of your right foot and bring your right hand to your hip as we set up for reverse triangle. Inhale. And then exhale. Twist your body to the right, pulling your right hip back as you pull your left hip forward. And then rise your hand up to the ceiling or the sky if that's available to you. Continue to work that twist from your core, turning towards the right. Inhale. Exhale. One more inhale. Exhale, drop your right hand down. Bend your right leg. Get up high on your left toes and bring your right foot back to join your left. Inhale. Exhale, drop down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale into upward facing dog. Exhale into downward facing dog. Enjoy this wonderful stretch in downward dog. Go ahead and give yourself 2 cleansing breaths. Exhaling. Inhale, bring your left leg up as high as you want to go in space. And then exhale, bring your left knee to the nose as you bring your left foot in between your hands, opening up into Warrior Two. Very good. Remembering that you've got a cord, drawing your tailbone down towards the earth, bending your left leg as deeply as feels good to you. Pulling your belly button in against your spine, pulling your shoulder blades together on your back. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, go ahead and reverse your warrior into peaceful warrior, keeping your hips low in the same position they were in Warrior Two. Drawing your left hand up to the ceiling or the sky as you lay your right hand across the back of your left leg, or your right leg. Taking again that Gaya Mudra with your fingers, index finger to the thumb, your 3 fingers together and straight high up in the air. Remember that's the grounding mudra. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And then exhale back into Warrior Two. Take your right arm and place it on your right thigh. Setting up for side angle pose, extended side angle pose. Go ahead and raise your right hand up to the ceiling, drawing your right shoulder back, shining your heart center up to the sky if you want to. You can draw your hand alongside your ear. Drop your hips by bending your left knee more deeply if you choose. Pulling your heart center up towards the sky by drawing your right shoulder back. Drawing the crown of your head in the same direction as your front leg. One more inhale. And then on the exhale, go ahead and make a circle with that right hand down and then back up into warrior two. Straightening out the left leg, inhale. And then on the exhale, go ahead and fall into your triangle. Left hand towards the floor, right hand towards the ceiling. You can place your left hand on the shin if you need to. If it's too hard to do the deeper stretch, that's totally okay. Drawing your tailbone towards the floor as you use your inner spiral for your right knee to go towards the ceiling. Opening up the heart center. Right hand high to the ceiling. Enjoy this. One more inhale. And then exhale, draw your right hand to the floor. Shorten your stance slightly with your right foot, setting up for Pyramid or Parsvottanasana. So both of our feet are facing forward. Inhale, draw the crown of your head towards the same direction as your toes. On your exhale, go ahead and allow your torso to fall over your left leg, drawing your shoulder blades onto the spine as you allow your body to descend over that leg, continuing to tuck your tailbone. One more inhale. And then exhale, place your right hand on the inside of your left foot. Bring your left hand to your left hip. Go ahead and start to twist into your triangle to the left. Going into revolve, triangle. Pulling your left hip back as you pull your right hip forward. And then go ahead and raise your hand if that's available to you. Continue to fold into that twist. Moving from the core, twisting. One more inhale. And then exhale, drop your left hand down. Bend your left knee as you pull your right foot back high up on the toes. Place your right hand and left hand on the floor. And draw your left leg back to join your right as you move into downward facing dog. Enjoy this nice, beautifully extended dog. Drawing your tailbone down towards the earth as you draw your heart center towards the earth in between your shoulders. Pulling your shoulders away from the ears. Pulling your shoulder blades together back on the spine and lifting your hips high in the air. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, bend your legs. And then on your exhale, either step or hop up to your hands. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale, forward fold. Go ahead and pull your feet apart again into wide-legged forward fold. Go ahead and just place your hands in between your feet. Make your feet as far apart as you want to. Drawing your sits bones high up into the air. So you might just place your hands back there on your sits bones and pull them up. And as you do that, notice what your hips feel like when you do that. And then fold using your abdominal muscles. Pull your shoulder blades onto your spine as you fold forward. Feel where you feel that sensation. It should be all along the backs of your legs. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale, take your index fingers. Place them on either toe, your big toe. Joining your right forefinger to your joining your forefingers to your thumbs, Go ahead and inhale to a flat spine, and then exhale, pulling your elbows out to the side. Go ahead and fold forward again. Remembering, sits bones high into the air, pulling your shoulder blades onto your back as you fold forward. Very And then let's bring our feet slightly together. Take our hands, place them underneath our feet. So our toes are all the way up by our wrists. This is called gorilla pose. Inhale into a flat spine, and then exhale, forward fold. Once again, pulling your elbows back, hips high up into the air. Inhale into flat spine. Exhale, release the hands, drop down again into Muladhara. And that is garland pose. That's also called the yogi squat. I'm feeling pretty sweaty right now. So you can kind of move around in the squat a little bit. Just opening up the hips. Alrighty. And then let's go ahead, sit all the way back into staff pose. Sitting up good and tall. We've talked about this before, that when we're in staff pose, it's very much like being in Tadasana. We're pulling our shoulders back and down. We are stacking our shoulders over our hips. We are engaging our side and our belly muscles. And moving our head back in space. Inhale. And then on the exhale, go ahead and fold forward. Drawing your heart center forward. Drawing your crown of your head forward. Fold into your legs as much as feels good to you. Do things slowly, do things deliberately. Don't yank yourself into any pose. Use your muscle energy to move you into that pose. We're going to go ahead and integrate a little twist. So go ahead and inhale, rise up out of that slightly. Take your right hand and place it either on your right ankle or on the outside edge of your right foot. And go ahead again and draw forward as you pull your right shoulder back. You can place your right hand on your right hip, or you can even rise it up and draw your right shoulder down towards your legs. Twist. One more inhale. Exhale, bring your right hand back to join your left hand. Take your right hand and either place it on the outside of your ankle or the outside of your right foot again. Inhale. And then exhale to send down over your feet, turning your body to the left, placing your left hand on your left hip. Or if you want, you can raise it up into the air. One more inhale. Exhale, bring your left hand to join your right hand. Inhale your chest up. And then exhale, fold over your legs again. Inhale, rise up. And then let's do a little bit of a boat pose to strengthen our core muscles. Navasana also grounds us to the earth. What's touching the earth? Our hips are touching the earth. Go ahead and place your hands either under your thighs or in front of your legs and lean back into your Navasana, into your boat pose. Pulling your shoulders back in space, pulling your head back in space if that's available to you. Allow all the muscles of your abs to work. Breathing calmly like it's the easiest thing in the world. One more inhale. And then exhale, fold over your legs. Now you can continue to do that version of Navasana, but I'm going to raise my shins off the floor so that they are parallel with the floor. So go ahead and inhale, the crown of your head high. And then exhale, lean back. My hands are parallel to the floor. My shins are parallel to the floor. Moving my shoulders back into space so that my shoulder blades are on my back. One more inhale. Exhale, drop your feet down. Fold over your legs. Inhale the crown of your spine. Inhale your crown long, straightening up your spine. If you want to continue to do the version of Savasana you're doing, that is completely fine. I am now going to go into the fully extended version of Utthita Savasana. Inhale. And then exhale, placing my hands parallel to the floor, straightening out my legs. Pulling my shoulders back on my spine as I lean further back onto my sacrum. One more inhale. Exhale, drop our feet down. Move our hips slightly forward. Actually, no, I take that back. Move your hips back in space. Sitting back into staff pose again. I forgot that I want to take you into pigeon pose. Pigeon pose is also another wonderful grounding pose. Inhale. Exhale. Take your right leg behind you. So turn it like so that your knee is out to the side. Take your left foot and turn it in so that your left foot is immediately in front of your right thigh. Now just kind of move forward and pull your right foot back in space. So instead of going at this so now I've arrived at pigeon pose. I've moved my right leg behind me. My toes are tucked into the floor, or you can have your foot flat behind you. And my right leg, my left knee is out to the side. And my hands are both in front of me. Let's go ahead and tent our hands, create spidering with our hands, pulling our shoulder blades onto our back as we rise our heart center up to the ceiling on the inhale. And on the exhale, go ahead and fold down over that left leg. Do whatever you want with your arms. You can be up on your elbows. You can have your arms out in front of you. You can place your forehead on the floor if that is what you want to do. I want you to do what feels good to you. Right now, I've got my arms extended in front of me. I have my elbows on the floor, and I have my forehead on the floor. While you're here, focus on drawing your right hip forward as you draw your left hip back. Increase that stretch along your left hip. You can stay as you are, but I'm going to thread the needle by drawing my right hand underneath my left arm, and I'm going to place my hands together, kind of in a prayer pose, but they're way out extended. This just further increases that stretch along the back of the left hip. And it sets me up for the next stretch that I'm going to engage in. Next thing I'm going to do is pull up my right foot, reach around and grab it with my left hand, and pull my toes in towards my right hip, stretching out my right quadricep, and further stretching out my left hip. Pretzeling the body, if you will. You don't have to do this. This is pretty intense. Inhale, and then gradually let down your right leg. Go ahead and rise up if you want. I'm ready to rise up. Then I'm going to reach around, grab my right leg, And I'm going to try to tuck my right hand into, or my right foot into my right elbow and bring, oops, see, I don't do this very often, so I don't know if I can move into this pose. I'm still working on the strength of it, and I don't seem to have it yet. Oops. Okay, well, I'll just have my right foot kicking into my elbow as I turn towards it so that I can eventually work into the situation where I have my right hand up and I bring my left hand overhead, but I don't have the stability yet. I'm not going to do it tonight. Go ahead and let that down. Let's go ahead and sit back on our left hip. Draw our right foot forward, sit back into staff pose again. Yeah, you saw that. You saw your teacher fall out of that pose. Go ahead and take our left foot back. Bend our right knee so that it is facing our left thigh. And then move forward into that pigeon again. Okay? Draw your left leg back in space, straightening it out behind you. Very good. Tense your hands, pull your shoulders together, back. As you lift up your heart center. And then on the exhale, go ahead and fold forward. Having your arms in any position that works for you, you are free to stay up on top of your elbows. I'm straightening mine out in front of me. I'm placing my forehead on the floor. Now, if you want to join me, go ahead and thread your left arm underneath your right and lay down across that shoulder, placing your hands together, further deepening that stretch along the outside of the right hip. With my hips being all stretched out like this, I'm going to have a very nice night of sleep. We carry a lot of stress in our hips. And as I've always said, if you have shoulder pain and neck pain, check in with your hips. A lot of times it is a sign that your hips are tight. So do some hip opening exercises. Drop down into Muladhara. Do some pigeon poses, either in seated or laying down like this, or reclined on your back, or even up against a wall. And it's amazing, it will help with your neck and shoulder pain. I'm going to go ahead and deepen my stretch by lifting up my left foot and reaching back and grabbing it with my right hand. I'm pulling my foot in towards my left hip. More inhale, and then exhale, drop that left leg down. Go ahead and rise up if you want. Tense your fingers again, and then turn around and grab your left foot with your left arm. And I'm going to go ahead and draw my toes. My feet are so sweaty right now. Into that elbow. And go ahead and keep on drawing that down. Drawing. Maybe I'm strong enough on this side. Let's see. Okay, watch me. Watch me fall. It's not going to work. There we go. I did it. Okay, let's move back into staff pose again. and staff again. I bet you are ready for me to take you into Shavasana and into your full body scan. It's a pretty warm night. So go ahead and lay down. Find your comfortable pose on your back, or you can do bound angle pose. You can do whatever works for you. I'm going to sit up, but I want you to feel comfortable to lay down. And then I'm going to go ahead and talk you through your body system. So starting with the crown of your head, I want you to imagine all the skin is melting down towards the earth. Smoothing out the forehead, your eyebrows melting back towards your ears and down. All the skin of your face melting down and away. All the muscles are relaxed. You're not holding any tension in your face. And then I want you to draw your attention to your neck and to your jawline. Allowing your mouth to slightly open, drawing your tongue away from the roof of your mouth. Relaxing all the muscles of your neck, allowing your collarbones to widen, allowing your shoulders to fall back and down, and drawing your attention towards all of your back muscles and middle abdomen muscles. Allow them all to fully relax. Holding no tension, no work. They have already worked. Drawing your attention to your hips, allowing the floor to fully support them. Relaxing your thighs, relaxing your knees. Drawing your attention towards your lower legs, relaxing your calves and your shins. Allowing your feet fully relax, relaxing your ankles, the arches of your feet, the tops of your feet, and all of your toes, commanding them to relax. Now, while you are sitting there or lying there, I want you to imagine that red cord again. Imagine it is a root that is tapping into the center of the earth. Imagine at the center of the earth there's a red glow. It's a crystal. It's like the heartbeat of the earth. This cord, it draws you to the center of the earth, grounding you, creating that sense of security, that sense of connection. Remembering that when your roots grow deep, the rest of you can grow tall, firmly anchored into this safe place, this earth. While you meditate, tell yourself this mantra: I am safe to be myself. Repeat that out loud. You can repeat that in your mind. You can tell yourself over and over again that you are safe to be yourself. Close your eyes and relax. And stay in this rested position for the next few moments. Invite you to come back into the present moment. Maybe wiggle your toes, maybe wiggle your hands, maybe bring your shoulders up to your ears and back down. When you feel ready, join me in the easy seated pose, Sukhasana. Inhale, you bring your hands up. Exhale, bring your hands down. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, hands down. One more, hands up. Exhale, bring your hands in prayer to Ajna, your third eye. To Anahata, your heart center. Inhale. And then exhale. Drop into prayer pose. Thank you for taking this time. Ground yourself. Give back to yourself. Be comfortable in who you are as you explore how to stay grounded, how to stay connected. The light in me joins